and scariest things in World of Warcraft.
Hold me. Twitch chat, hold me.
It's that time of year. There's just something in the air. Something off. The kids are trick-or-treating. People are going to costume parties. And you? Well, you're sitting in front of your computer listening to me talk about World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Now, that's scary.
Whoa.
Well,
Shots
let's
fired.
at least make the best of it. Never mind the fact that this stuff is all over the internet, and you've probably seen it 1,000 times before. But this is the top 10 spookiest, scariest spooks in World of Warcraft.
I don't know if I know any of these, to be honest.
Zombies. Not just any zombies, though. Can you guess this location? Some of you may have said Westfall, and you'd be right. One of the more revolutionary things with the game at the time of its release were day and night cycles. The World of Warcraft is, well, a world. As described in their 2001 preview of the game, they wanted to make it seem like a world, and one of their main ways of doing that was to change it as time goes on. As the sun goes down and the skies darken, in the town of Moonbrook will stir something a bit more nefarious than some simple bandits. The vultures that normally reside in the graveyard outside of town take shelter as the undead rise from their graves and search for their next meal.
This isn't true, is it? I've never noticed that. Or maybe he's gonna say they removed that, like they used to do. That's not. There's totally not zombies in West. True, it is true. No, it's not. Only during night. If I log into Classic Era right now, there's zombies at night. No shot. Yes. How have I never known this? Wait, how late at night? No, there's not. You don't stream at night? But I used to. I used to play at night all the time. I feel like I would have known. Okay, let's keep watching.
This ghoulish transition isn't unique to Moonbrook, however. Located in the Silverpine Forest, just outside of the Shadowfang Keep dungeon, is the Pyrewood Village. By day, a quiet town of villagers just going about their normal lives. However, as night turns... That's right, furries. If you dare to move forward, let's move on to number 9.
I don't know if I ever noticed that either, but I feel like that one seems more... I feel like I maybe have seen the werewolves. I swear I've never seen zombies in Westfall, though. Maybe I'm tripping.
Number 9, we have the Noosemen. You can find these guys hanging around in various zones in the game.
Yeah.
In the appropriately named Deadwood Pass, which eventually held the Kazan raid, and also outside the Scarlet Crusade stronghold in the Tirisfal Glades, you'd find the bodies of non-believers hanging in the trees as a word of warning for those who don't abide by the cult strictures. Rated T for teen, or rather, terrifying.
Your courage will fail. Your friends will abandon you. Death is close.
No, that wasn't the voice in your head that you normally hear. That was the voice of the old god Cthulhu. Housed in the ancient temple of Ankh-Raj lies the god of madness and chaos, and working your way through his minions, he'll periodically shit-talk you like a 9-year-old on Xbox Live, spooking unsuspecting raiders.
You are weak. You are already dead. You betray your friends. I boned your mom.
These whispers for a time were implemented into the popular add-on Deadly Boss mods. If you were attacked while AFK, it would play this line while you're alt-tabbed out in Wowhead or watching pornography, and this caused many players to question their sanity.
Wait, what? Most replayed is what I'm about to replay. What?
These whispers for a time were implemented into the popular add-on Deadly Boss mods. If you were attacked while AFK, it would play this line while you're alt-tabbed out in Wowhead or watching pornography, and this caused many players to question their sanity, and countless threads were created searching for answers. It was eventually removed from the add-on since it caused such a stir.
Oh, so it was just part of the add-on, but people didn't... Oh, that's creepy. Okay, so Deadly Boss mods had like a really good troll. I never had DBM, still have never downloaded that add-on, and so I never realized that. But that's kind of funny.
Isn't the only one with the bants though. The Ashbringer, Alexandros Mograine, also has a lot to say. His death was marred with betrayal and desecration, having been stabbed in the back by his own son, with his own weapon even, the Ashbringer. This treachery cursed the blade, and Mograine himself was raised from the dead to serve in Kel'Thuzad's undead army. Players can obtain the corrupted Ashbringer in the next Ramus raid, and while equipped, you would periodically hear whispers from Mograine's lost soul.
Such a cool weapon. That's epic. Damn, that's cool. I never knew that. Wait, does anyone have the corrupted Ashbringer? Can confirm that? Does it actually do that like in game when you're just standing there? It does? Oh, that's sick, dude. I've never... Man, I almost want to make a tune and get the corrupted Ashbringer just to like hear that. That's so cool.
It puts the lotion on its skin. It's kind of funny. You murder some bunnies, make some clothing out of their hide, and no one bats an eye. But you make just one null tent made out of human skin, and everyone loses their crap. That's right. You know all of those null camps in the game?
I think I've seen this before, yeah.
Look closely at their tents, and you'll uncover the shocking truth. You ever wonder what happens to the bodies of the low-level humans who fell victim to the mighty Hogger? Bring companions, and remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yeah, I've noticed that before, yeah.
Patricide, the killing of one's own father. Preceding the events of World of Warcraft, there's a prince by the name of Arthas Menethil, the son of Tyrannus Menethil and heir to the throne. He was an ordained paladin in the Order of the Silver Hand and fought for justice and defended the weak. His story, however, was marred with heartbreak, madness, and betrayal. In his youth, he uncovered a plot by the Dreadlord Mal'Ganis to turn the citizens of his hometown, Stratholme, into undead through the consumption of poisoned foodstuffs. He rushed back to the kingdom to warn them, but it was too late, and the entire city had to be purged. The citizens turned as he warned, and he and his paladins had the grisly task of massacring them. He was driven mad by the ordeal, and in a quest for revenge against Mal'Ganis, he uncovered the runeblade Frostmourne, the weapon of the ruler of all undead, the Lich King. He wielded the cursed blade to aid him in his quest for revenge, and was able to slay the Dreadlord in one-on-one combat. The victory, however, was hollow, as the last of his sanity slipped away, and the cursed sword took hold of him. Under the influence of Frostmourne and the Lich King, he slayed his companions and returned to the kingdom. The crowd rejoiced its champion as he walked through the halls leading to the throne room, showering him with rose petals and ringing the bells in celebration. The cheers of joy and admiration quickly turned to horror as he drove Frostmourne through his own father's heart and unleashed the undead upon his own people.
Wow.
They say the dead don't lie, and vestiges of the past can be found in-game. In the Undercity, if one turns up their ambience to the max and listens very carefully, in the bell tower, you can still hear the joyous ringing marking the prince's return.
That's dope.
In the hallway leading up to the throne room lay still the rose petals that once showered the prince.
Oh, cool. I never noticed that.
And in the throne room, you can hear the dialogue between Arthas and his father, moments before he ruthlessly murdered him.
Oh, cool. Bro, I love Easter eggs. Like finding out these little tiny things in the game that you already love is just so cool. That's why I was always a fan of like all the Bethesda games, like Fallout 3, 4, I like the older Bethesda games like Skyrim and Oblivion and stuff. It's cool, man. It's cool. I don't know. What other word describes it other than this is just really freaking rad, man. This part's really replayed. I'm curious what it is.
The Elwin Forest, a place of tranquility, and caves that look like, well hey, they always said that Azeroth was a female titan.
Oh.
Be careful though, this one is infested with critters.
Really? That's what people are replaying the most in this video? Really? Guys, go outside. Wait, come on, really? That's what we're replaying in the video. Out of everything. You did too? No, I was showing how ironic it was. Like, I did it. I wasn't actually replaying it. I was showing that other people
Well, hey, they always said that Azeroth was a female titan. Be careful though, this one is infested with critters. There are some really hard quests in there, so you better wear lots of protection. Anyways, the children of Goldshire.
Dude.
Wandering about the forest, you can find 6 children, and that's Aaron, Cameron, Lisa, Jose, John, and Dana. They seem innocent enough, but looking closely, you'll notice that they walk in the pattern of a pentagram. And what's more, at 7 a.m. every single day, they'll make their way to this secluded house near Crystal Lake and begin their satanic ritual.
What?
If you turn your sound levels up, you'll hear spooky music, banshee screams, ghoul calls.
That's creepy, bro.
All manner of demonic noises. Even Cthulhu joins in on the fun.
You will die.
No way! Is that real? Okay, that's the first like really
just as
creepy
quick as they
one.
came, they disappear and begin the ritual again and again, every day at 7 a.m.
Is that real, chat?
But there lies more horror in the seemingly innocent zone.
Oh my gosh.
After a long day of questing, adventurers can take refuge in the town's inn, refresh on food, relax by the cozy fire. However, for one server in particular, you'll find a completely different experience. In the deepest depths of debauchery lies the Moonguard Goldshire Inn, where those who enter leave with trauma and sticky feet. What's going on over here? Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Let's just go over here.
Was this necessary?
Truly, one of the most horrifying areas in the entire game.
Yeah. Okay, true. True.
The next Ramus raid, home of the Lich Lord Kel'Thuzad and all manner of undead, necromancers, and abominations. In the room at the far end of the raid, locked behind an iron gate, lies the most gruesome and grotesque being of them all, waiting.
You are too late.
Stitched together from the corpses of women and children lies a creature named Thaddeus, an amalgamation of flesh made to serve the Lich King in death. This malformed atrocity serves as the prison for the souls of the victims of the Scourge, whom can be heard crying for a release into the afterlife. You know those cries that you hear throughout the raid?
Sheesh.
A little known, but dark truth is that they come from the lost souls trapped within Thaddeus. These wails can be heard throughout the halls of the ziggurat to horrify invading adventurers and to serve as a warning of a fate that they too may meet. Next, we have a room that's so dark and so messed up that it was never even meant to be seen by players. Hidden behind the unreleased Kazan raid in the Deadwind Pass are the Kazan Crypts. These are locked behind an...
It's hinted that we're gonna get Kazan Crypts as a new raid in Season of Discovery at level 60. That would be so much fun. Oh!
Iron Gate, barring players from entry, and only by purposefully dying and spirit resurrecting through the gate could you gain entry. Inside lays a huge labyrinth filled with tombs, bones, grave sites, and the deafening silence of the dead. A pile of bones marks the site of a cruel execution room. At the entrance of the crypt is a black hole whose bottom can't be seen by the naked eye, and those unlucky enough to fall down, however, would find themselves in a room called the Pit of Criminals. Supposedly, the last Guardian Medivh would use this well to execute lawbreakers, being forced to jump to their doom where their bodies were left to rot with the bones of those before them. Nonetheless, this method of execution paled in comparison to the room of upside-down sinners.
Dude, that is next level creepy, man.
Venturing further into the crypts, you'd happen upon a body of water. On the surface, the waters are calm and serene. However, in the depths, the room of upside-down sinners is a second known execution chamber, purposed to end the lives of criminals, trespassers, or anyone deemed to be a sinner in Medivh's twisted madness.
What I find interesting and really cool is Blizzard put this much time and thought into an area of the game that almost nobody has seen, because you have to like spirit walk to get there, kind of like old Ironforge, kind of like a lot of the quest lines behind Scarab Lord that we saw in the Barney series. Like, I think it's really cool to have that much be that meticulous and have that much forethought and design around a place that, you know, is not going to be like the forefront of the game, but it makes the game feel so detailed, you know?
Yes. The bodies lay there still to this day, and the waters are forever calm and as silent as a grave. The only sound you hear are your own footsteps, and if you turn up your ambience enough, you'll hear that of a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure there was plans for it, but they never got it out. Yeah, you're probably right.
It goes louder and louder, climaxing in a room called the Slough of Despair. Wait, D-I-S... Never mind. But venturing into the heart of the crypts,
what was he trying to get out
into
there?
the deepest pit, and listening closely.
What did I just miss? Oh, it's spelled D-I-S instead of D-E-S.
Well, never mind that.
What's the misspelling trying to get at? Despair instead of despair. What's it trying to get at?
Well, what could possibly top that, you're wondering? What is the most petrifying, heinous, and terrifying thing in World of Warcraft?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Once upon a time, a long time ago, a game was released, an MMORPG based off of the Warcraft series called World of Warcraft. You could pick 9 different classes, adventure with your friends, and explore a massive virtual world. It took the world by storm. Players were sucked into their addiction and invested thousands and thousands of hours into this virtual world. A meaningful and rewarding loot system, a thriving community, a fun and chaotic PvP experience, a set of classes that are all unique from each other, and a challenging but rewarding raiding scene. It redefined the MMO genre and quickly earned the praise and adoration of players worldwide. But as time moved on, players watched the game they loved and adored slowly being changed into something else. Dungeon Finder, Raid Finder, heirlooms, level boosts, a third furry race. Basic core functions to the MMO genre were deemed by a few to be too time-consuming or annoying, so slowly but surely, Blizzard pandered to this audience, and the game was changed into a slot machine roulette wheel loot casino with aspects of mobile gaming and even a cash shop. The game today holds a meager amount of subscribers compared to its glory days, as players fled in horror of what it's become.
Damn. What a good one, man. Battle for Azeroth. That was a good one, bro. I like that last one a lot, man. It made me think, what would retail be like today? You know, it still has its issues and its problems, right? But no WoW token, no heirlooms, no LFR, no group finder, like none of that. But it still had all of its issues in terms of like all of its other stuff. I wonder how many people would be really interested in playing retail if that was the case. And how many people actually wouldn't be interested that are playing right now. Like, I just wonder how that product would look in an alternate universe. Never doing the WoW token. Never putting in some of these insane quality of life. I don't know. I don't know. I would play. I think a lot of classic players would play, but a lot of the people that are currently playing retail might not have stuck around. Pull it. I mean, my chat is a bunch of classic Andes, right? We're pretty biased. I think a lot of you guys would be a lot more interested. Yeah, I don't think we need a pull for that, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that do play that maybe wouldn't. I like Group Finder a lot. I think the biggest W of classic WoW in the last decade or something is Mythic Plus, man. Mythic Plus, I think, was like a brilliant addition. I think there has been some really good additions. I think the issue that retail has, and I've said this before, is that every expansion, if you're Blizzard, you need to put something on your box, right? You need to make a trailer. You need to say brand new Battleground, brand new game mode, brand new something. You can't release an expansion with nothing new because it doesn't attract anyone. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. You need novelty. But the problem is, if you have 20 expansions and every expansion you're sitting there scratching your head like, okay, we need something else. We need to reinvent the wheel here. At some point, you're going to have a bloated game with a bunch of stuff that nobody plays. By definition, because like you have to reinvent the wheel every time to put something on your box to give the marketing team something to run with, right? Because you want to sell copies because you're a business. So it creates this issue of like, would WoW have been better if every expansion was just simply an increased level cap, a few new dungeons, and a few new raids, and that's kind of it. It's not sexy, but then the game would have really kept its core values and not transformed into this crazy thing. Having said that, the counter argument is what I just said. Mythic Pluses were pretty damn cool. RBGs for a while were pretty damn cool, but then you keep pushing the limits of things that aren't. You know, it wouldn't be better, right? Yeah, Solo Shuffle. I could do a whole video talking about Solo Shuffle. It's a really complicated issue. Solo Shuffle's a really complicated issue. It's it brought WoW into the age of like League of Legends, right? Where you can kind of just like press Q and play the game. But the queues of solo shuffle are so long that it's not even viable to play for a lot of people. But it's still sometimes easier to sit a 30-minute solo shuffle queue than to try to sit in LFG for 30 minutes trying to find a group, and they leave after one round anyway. So it's like, I'll just sit the 30-minute shuffle queue. But in everyone then opting for a 30-minute shuffle queue, and the queue problem is a problem because of the disparity between DPS and healers. There's not enough healers playing the game. That means in LFG, LFR, looking for groups for 3v3, it's dead. Because so now looking for an actual 3v3 group has been slaughtered because everyone's playing shuffle, because it's a slightly better alternative to respect your time. But in doing so, it killed the archaic thing of looking for teammates in 3v3, right? I made the analogy to like Tinder versus old school dating back when you lived on like a farm yesterday, right? So now you have like this really, really complicated issue. Like, was it a win or was it an L? It's like, well, there's a lot of good from it, but at the same time, we're in the future, man. I don't know. Very good video. Mad Season Show. Check them out. Okay.